Hello and welcome back to RE for another half term. We are going to switch religions this half term. Last half term you did an incredible job learning about Islam, learning either about what it means to be a Muslim or the stories of Muhammad. So that was really great and I really enjoyed doing both of those modules with you, and it was really nice to see some of you in school and to say hello to you then, and hopefully I'll see you in school again in 2 weeks. So we've got two RE lessons we're going to do virtually this half term, and our topic is this, and it's really good timing. What is the Bible, and what is the story of Easter? Now it's really good timing because at the end of this half term our last day is called Good Friday, and that is the beginning of Holy Week, and Holy Week is the week of Easter. So we are leading up to that. But before we get to Easter, we are going to do our first lesson asking this question: what is the Bible? Okay, I know some of you know the answer to this. We're going to look in a bit more depth, but shout it out now. What do you think is the Bible? What is it? Ooh. Okay, I just about heard someone say, it's a book. It's the Christian book. It's the book about Jesus. Okay, all of those things are right. Let's look in a bit more detail. And then at the end of this lesson, I'm going to challenge you to define some of the words that we're looking at today. So at the end of the lesson, I'm going to have a grid up with some of the words, and I'm going to challenge you to try and get as many right as you can. Now, this half term, we are looking at Christianity. People who follow... that should say, sorry, I need to update this. People who follow Christianity are called Christians. And Christianity is the largest religion in the UK. Still, just about half of people in the UK say that they are Christians. So you might be from a Christian family yourself. You might have Christian friends or Christian relatives. That means that they follow the religion of Christianity. And we are going to look at the Bible and the story of Easter. On the left-hand side here, this is the symbol of Christianity called the cross or the crucifix. And this on the right-hand side is a picture of a Bible. Okay, Christians believe in God. I wonder who that reminds you of. Probably Muslims, because if you're in year one, we know that last half term, Muslims believe in Allah, which is the Arabic word for God. So Christians believe in one God, and to believe in a God means to believe in a force or person who is more powerful, or which is more powerful than anything else on earth. To believe in a force that is the most powerful thing. All powerful, all knowing, all seeing. That is what they believe. Now, is this the same thing as me believing in this mug right here? Is it the same thing as me believing in, I don't know, this magazine that I've got? Well, I can pick this up and point it at the camera, and I can take it to you and give it to you and show it to you. Christians can't do that with God. God is a different category of thing. Christians can't see God. Well, maybe in different ways, but most Christians can't see God. You can't touch God. You couldn't point to God. You couldn't say that God is a solid thing. And they can't prove easily to other people that God exists. There's no definite proof that God is real. I can pick up this pen and I can prove it to you. Now, I can show you it on camera, or I can go and I can let you hold it and believe it and know that it exists. It's difficult to do that with God. It's very difficult. They have a belief in God. Okay, that's the difference with religion. Everything that we're learning about is about belief. They believe the stories in the Bible. Some of them believe that they are really true and really happened. They believe that Jesus was the son of this God that we can't see or touch, but that is all powerful. So when we want to find out something, we might go to the library and we might read a book on that subject. So if I said to you, we're going to learn about dinosaurs, well, you might pop to the library and find an amazing book about dinosaurs. And when Christians want to find out about God, they go to the Bible, which is the Christian holy book. So in Islam, the holy book is called the Quran, and in Christianity, the holy book is called the Bible. The Bible is a collection of many books written over the course of 2,000 years. So although this is a Bible here, although it looks like one book because it's You know, that's one book, right? If you actually open a Bible, you will see that it's got lots of books inside it. So the first book is called Genesis, and then you have the books of Exodus and Leviticus and Numbers, Deuteronomy, Judges, Chronicles, Ezra, Job, Psalms, Wisdom, John, Matthew, Mark, Luke, Acts, Revelations. Lots and lots of books included in this Bible, and most of them are written by different authors. So someone wrote Genesis, someone wrote Exodus. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the stories of Jesus, are written by someone called Matthew, someone called Mark, someone called Luke, and someone called John. So each book is written by a different author over the course of about 2,000 years. And the Bible was put together about 2,000 years ago. So the first books in here were written about 3,500, 4,000 years ago. That's a really, really, really long time ago. So the first books that were written in this Bible were written really, really long ago. And because they were written so long ago, they weren't written in English. I mean, 3,500 years ago, English wasn't even really a language. They were mostly written in Hebrew, which is what people in Israel speak now, and Jewish people use that, and Greek, which is obviously what people in Greece speak. And so we have to read the Bible in translation. Okay, I wonder if you know what that word means already. Translation. That means that we have to take the original Hebrew and the original Greek, and we have to turn it into English. And there are lots of different translations. You can see in this picture here, actually, you've got the Living Bible, the New International Version, the King James Version. There are lots of different translations from Hebrew and Greek into English. And not just into English, into French, Spanish, Swahili, Welsh, Yiddish, all sorts of different languages the Bible has been translated into. Christians believe these books were written by people who were inspired by God. So that's what makes this different from any other book. So if I was to... Oh, here we go with Year 6. This is a novel called Crime and Punishment. Well, what's the difference between these two books for Christians? This book, the Bible, is, Christians believe, inspired by God. All of the authors of the Bible had a special relationship with God, whereas this book, just a story. Not true, made up by an author, not inspired by God. This book, inspired by God. So it's a very, very special, holy book that is written in translation, okay? So, very special, holy book, written in translation. Now, I thought this was really interesting. This is one of the oldest copies of the Bible. Okay, let's try reading it. We can't. Because it's written in Greek, okay? So this is the Greek language, and Greek has a different alphabet. Just like Arabic that we've already looked at, and just like Hebrew, Greek does not use the English or Latin alphabet, like this HOLY, Holy Bible. So we can't read Greek unless we know that alphabet. This dates back to Roman times. So if you know anything about the Romans, they were around about 1,900 years ago, the end of the Roman Empire. This is how old this part of the Bible is. And so someone has to sit down and they have to know Greek and then translate this into English. Okay, let's look at what's inside the Bible then. So the Bible is full of stories, and there are other things in here. There are poems, there are laws, there's advice, but most of this, I would say, is the stories of various different people. Some of you might know, some of the stories you might know already, and some of them you're going to learn in RE over the next few years. The Old Testament, so the Bible, to make it more confusing. The Bible is broken down into lots of books, but those books are characterized into the New Testament and the Old Testament. Let's have a look. So this section here, is the Old Testament. I'll just put that back in. And this section here is the New Testament. So the New Testament is a lot shorter. The Old Testament is a lot older. That's why it's called that. And I'm going to tell you some of the stories that are in here, and you shout back to me if you've heard of any of these stories, okay? So Adam and Eve, Moses, Isaac, Abraham, Ruth, Noah, Jonah, Job, and other stories. And we're going to learn about some of those. If you're in year 2, I think we do that next half term. We're going to learn about some of those stories. And then this bit here, this is called the New Testament, okay? And the New Testament tells the stories of Jesus' life and the first Christians. The Old Testament is actually shared with Jewish people. This bit here is all the story of Jesus' life, and it's the story of the first Christians. And this includes, and again, you might know some of these stories, I know because we've done them in class, his birth, which is called the Nativity, his miracles, the incredible things that he can do, his teachings and the story of his death, and here's a really important word for this half term, resurrection. So at the end of all the stories of his life comes the story of him dying, and then Christians believe he rose from the dead. He came back from the dead. He came back from death. And that is called resurrection. Okay? Resurrection. Resurrection. For the Easter story, that's going to be so important because the Easter story is all about Jesus being captured, being tried, dying, and then coming back from the dead. And that, for Christians, is one of the most important beliefs they have, that Jesus died and came back. And that's called the resurrection. Say it after me. Say, resurrection. Resurrection. Okay. So that's the story of Easter. Wow. Now, we've covered a lot today, so let's just go back through these slides and pick up on some important things. Take a breath. Okay. Christians follow the religion of Christianity. Christians believe in God, and God is a powerful force that, God is a person or a force that is more powerful than anything else. Christians can't see or touch God, but they believe that God is real. The Bible is the book that Christians go to when they want to find out about God, and they believe it was written by people who are inspired by God. It's translated from two languages, Hebrew and Greek, that look like this. This is Greek, and that's the oldest copy of the Bible there, or one of them. The Old Testament, which is the earliest bit, has lots of stories, very famous stories in it, including Abraham, Adam and Eve. We went through the list. And the New Testament, which is still very old, it's still 2,000 years old, but it's a bit newer, has the stories of Jesus' life and the first Christians. And that includes the story of Easter, which is the story of Jesus' trial, his death, and his resurrection, coming back from the dead. An amazing term. Here we go then. This is the little test at the end of this. I would like you to have a go at telling me what each of these words means. It starts off with the easy words in green, then you've got some more difficult words in amber, and then the hardest words in red. So if you can explain what any of those three words in red mean, you are doing really, really well. You're doing absolutely fantastically. I want you to pause the video and have a go at that. Pause. Okay, well done. Hopefully you got lots of those right because you're amazing. Next week, we are going to start the process of looking at Jesus and looking at Easter. So I'll see you then. Hope you have a lovely week, and I'll speak to you later. Bye-bye.